There's a part of me that is telling me I'm going to regret looking at this list long term. Today, I'm going to be looking at a list of the top 40 WrestleManias ranked among the fans from 40 all the way to 1. If you're not too familiar with the website called a Ranker, they got a variety of different topics you can look at, not even just wrestling related. You already know the drill, though. As always, before we start, please make sure to subscribe, like, share, comment below, and turn on all notifications to be updated with all wrestling content right here related on this YouTube channel. And of course, to be updated when we go live every single Sunday, 5 p.m. for the No Name Wrestling podcast that I'm a part of. We do allow the viewers and subscribers to come on the pod from time to time to, come on the show during the open mic episodes and have friendly debates and conversations with us to, engage with us. It's all about really engaging with the people. So if you're a fan of that stuff and you want to be a part of it, you're at the right platform. Okay, we starting off pretty good here. WrestleMania 11 is boo-boo, trash, atrocious, terrible. This definitely could be the worst WrestleMania of all time. I'm not going to argue with people if they believe that. I mean, the main event was Bam Bam Bigelow versus Lawrence Taylor. Lawrence Taylor, yes, the football player who played for the New York Giants back in the 80s, bro. Like, that Lawrence Taylor. A celebrity was in the main event of WrestleMania over, Shawn Michaels and Diesel, who was on the same card fighting for the WWF Championship. So, yeah, you know what? No arguments for me here, man. WrestleMania 11 deserves to be in that 40th spot if people want to put it there. WrestleMania 27, easily one of the worst WrestleManias of all time. That goes in the 39th spot. Not mad at this either. This show had Jerry Lawler and Michael Cole, bro. I think that speaks volumes. The Core had a match at this WrestleMania, bro. Like, the main event was John Cena versus The Miz. At the time, The Miz later on did become a legend. The Miz proved himself later on, but at the time in 2011, he wasn't WrestleMania main event worthy. No disrespect to him, but he didn't give off those type of vibes. He didn't feel like a WrestleMania main event guy. The only good thing about this WrestleMania, honestly, was Undertaker versus Triple H. Like, Randy versus CM Punk was cool, but Undertaker and Triple H literally is like carrying the show. WrestleMania 9, definitely one of the top 3 worst WrestleManias of all time for sure. Undertaker versus Giant Gonzalez took place at this show, bro. Like, I think that's all I need to say about this WrestleMania. And of course, if you know the main event, when Hulk Hogan, brother, comes out and pretty much steals the WWF Championship, and steals, Bret Hart's moment and everything. Yeah, WrestleMania 9. Yeah, it's not a great WrestleMania. WrestleMania 32 was in the 37th spot. This was not a great WrestleMania. This was disappointing. The opening match, the ladder match was cool. The best match, I think, was the Triple Threat Women's match. It was really good. Brock and Dean was definitely disappointing. Shane McMahon versus Taker wasn't really that great, other than Shane jumping off the Hell in a Cell. The main event was Roman and Triple H, which was very boring and just only really boring, honestly, because people just weren't really invested too much in it because they just didn't care about Roman's character at that particular time frame. The League of Nations was on the show too. They beat the New Day. Yeah, WrestleMania 32. Yeah, that doesn't hold up. This WrestleMania honestly wasn't terrible, just based off the circumstances that happened. The world shut down. There were no fans. The cinematic matches were really good. Undertaker and AJ in the Boneyard match, that was great. The Firefly Funhouse, Edge and Randy Orton in the Last Man Standing match, I thought that was really, really good. I really enjoyed that. Charlotte and Rhea was a good match as well, even though the wrong person won. Drew getting his moment. The ladder match, this, honestly, for what they had to work with, it was okay. I mean, based off the circumstances, it was decent. Still looking for a certain WrestleMania I don't see. WrestleMania 2, though, was not a great WrestleMania. I would definitely put the pandemic WrestleMania over WrestleMania 2. What are we doing here? Definitely would take the pandemic WrestleMania over Mania 2. This is the Mania. They had 3 different locations. Like, King Kong Bundy and Hulk Hogan was in a cage match, bro, in the main event. Like, there it is. It's too high. WrestleMania 34 should be in the top 5 worst WrestleManias ever, just based off the hype. They literally ruined the show by making all the incorrect decisions possible. First off, Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch were all on the pre-show of this WrestleMania. They were in a battle royal that meant nothing. Might have added you right there. Other than Mustafa Ali versus Cedric Alexander, really good match, but that was on the pre-show. The opening match for the IC title, the Triple Threat, really good. And then Ronda Rousey's debut, that was sensational. Everything else about the show pisses me off, bro. You had 2 squash matches that could have had a lot of potential that people were really invested into. Undertaker and Cena was a squash match after we had waited years for that match to happen at WrestleMania. We get Undertaker was old past his prime. Cena was stepping out past his prime too, but it was still happening. We had waited for it forever. They gave us a squash match, right? Then you had the Bludgeon Brothers also pretty much demolished the New Day and the Usos. That match had a lot of potential to be really good. Shinsuke and Asuka both lost their world title matches, and then, Shinsuke turned heel for no apparent reason whatsoever. You had Braun Strowman team up with the Child at this WrestleMania. Braun Strowman is one of the most popular superstars in the company at the time frame, and the best thing they had for him was to team up with the Kid and take the tag team titles off of one of your best tag teams at that time frame, The Bar, just for them to give up the tag team titles the very next night on Raw, because obviously this 10 or 11-year-old kid can't defend the tag team titles. Rusev Day was hot at this WrestleMania, and he lost the U.S. title match to Jinder Mahal, winning the U.S. title. And then the main event was Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. The two literal guys in the company that majority of the audience at this particular time frame in 2018 did not care about, did not get behind, and definitely did not want to see fighting for the Universal Championship in the main event of WrestleMania. Not to mention the wrong person won. It took 6 F5s to beat Roman Reigns. 6 F5s to beat Roman Reigns. But remember, Brock Lesnar only beat Samoa Joe and Braun Strowman with 1 F5. And those were two guys that were definitely fan favorites and believable at that particular time frame with their characters to take the title from Brock Lesnar if they wanted to pull the trigger. But nope. Not only did Brock Lesnar win, but it also had to extend the Roman and Brock feud out in 2018 to SummerSlam, which nobody wanted, bro. They made every wrong choice at this Mania. Every wrong decision possible happened at this show, bro. This gotta be in the top 5 worst WrestleManias that I've ever seen. Whoa, Mania 37 at 33? This Mania was pretty solid. This was cool. The main events were great. Sasha and Bianca, the triple threat with Roman, Edge, and Bryan. Bad Bunny's, debut match, that was fun to watch. Cesaro and Seth Rollins had a really good match, if you ask me. Matt Riddle and Sheamus had a pretty good U.S. title match. Lashley and Drew was a great opener. Now, the Fiend and Randy Orton match definitely disappointed. They had a really good storyline, but they ruined it with the finish, so I can't really say too many good things about that. But I don't know if this should be at the 33 spot. I feel like that could be a little bit higher. WrestleMania 2000 over WrestleMania 37. I don't know, man. The main event, the Fatal 4-Way, which is the only Fatal 4-Way match, is still main event of WrestleMania, and Triple H was the first heel actually to win in the main event of WrestleMania. I actually really liked the Fatal 4-Way match. That was pretty good. The Triangle Ladder match, that was great. What else happened at the show? I think Benoit, Angle, and Jericho, that was pretty solid. But over WrestleMania 37, I don't think I'd put WrestleMania 2000 over WrestleMania 37 now. WrestleMania 33... at number 31, though, the main event was Roman and Taker. That was very poor. Brock and Goldberg actually was a lot better than people expected. Randy and Bray Wyatt was not that great. Triple H and Seth, some people found that to be very boring. AJ versus Shane, that's one of the best opening WrestleMania matches of all time. That over exceeded a lot of people's expectations. The ladder match, of course, the Hardys return. I guess 31 is an okay spot. No way we putting WrestleMania 29 over WrestleMania 37. Nah, that's crazy. That's crazy if you ask me. WrestleMania 29 was better than WrestleMania 37? Absolutely not. This is the same show that had Fandango and Chris Jericho, bro. John Cena and The Rock twice in a lifetime, which wasn't as great as the first match. Undertaker, and CM Punk, that was great. That was match of the night. Brock Lesnar and Triple H, I actually really enjoyed that match. That was pretty good. This is also the same show. You had Del Rio fighting Jack Swagger for the World Heavyweight Championship. I'm going to repeat that one last time. The World Heavyweight title match was Jack Swagger versus Alberto Del Rio, bro. We're not putting 29 over 37, bro. I'm sorry. WrestleMania 7, bro, this list is getting crazy. WrestleMania 7 wasn't really that spectacular either, besides Ultimate Warrior and Macho Man in the career-ending match, bro. That was cinema. That was a beautiful storytelling match right there, especially the end when Elizabeth came in the ring and her and Macho, and the people were crying, man. That was beautiful stuff. We're not putting WrestleMania 8 over WrestleMania 37 now that I'm looking at. Yes, WrestleMania 8 is not better than WrestleMania 37. Bret Hart, Roddy Piper, loved that match for the Intercontinental Championship. That was dope. Ric Flair and Macho Man, I really enjoyed that as well. But nah, WrestleMania 8 at the 28th spot, that's a little too high. WrestleMania 35, if they had cut that in half, if this had been a 2-night WrestleMania, I feel like this WrestleMania would have went down as one of the best, ever, because the show was just so long, bro. Like, oh my god, the show dragged out for like forever, man. And they made the correct decisions, unlike the year prior. Like, Seth Rollins won the championship. Kofi won the championship. Becky won the 2 titles. Like, they made the correct choices among the fan favorites at that time frame. Plus, they had other good matches too. Triple H and Batista in the No Holds Barred match. I really enjoyed that match. That honestly probably was my favorite match of the night. I know some people felt that was very long. I really loved that match a lot. WrestleMania 1, I mean, it's iconic, so I understand why they would put it in the 26th spot. It's very iconic, so it's the first WrestleMania ever, so okay. WrestleMania 15, Rock and Austin, first time at WrestleMania. That was a classic. But everything else, though... What?! Am I looking at this right? There's no way WrestleMania 39 did not crack the top 10. There's no way. There's no possible way WrestleMania 39 did not crack the top 10. What is happening? Now it's getting crazy. Bro. Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. Oh my god. Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew McIntyre. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn versus the Usos. Rhea and Charlotte. Logan Paul, Seth Rollins. Oh, what is going on? Oh my gosh, bro. What are we doing here? Oh, I was at this WrestleMania. I was there live in person for WrestleMania 38. I was there. It was a great experience. One of the best experiences I've ever had as a wrestling fan. Thoroughly enjoyed myself there. Johnny Knoxville, I think, had one of the best celebrity matches. That was very entertaining. Cody Rhodes' return. Him and Seth Rollins had a really good match. Stone Cold and Kevin Owens was great. Like, there was a lot of good moments at this Mania. The main event of Brock and Roman, that was very poor, mind you. That was very poor. But, I mean, Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair, that's one of the greatest women's matches ever. Like, they had great matches and good moments. 38 was solid, but over 39, no. You know what? I don't know if I can handle the rest of the list, bro. I don't know if I can handle it. We're putting the tournament WrestleMania over WrestleMania 39. WrestleMania 4, that's what we're doing. WrestleMania 13 is a one-show match. Bret and Stone Cold carries this WrestleMania. WrestleMania 12 in the 20th spot. Undertaker and Diesel, honestly, is one of Undertaker's most underrated WrestleMania matches. I really think that's a pretty good match. If you haven't seen it, you gotta check it out. Warrior and Hunter Hearst Helmsley, that was a squash match. I think this was Goldust and Piper too. That was the Goldust and Piper Hollywood backlot brawl. That was pretty fun and entertaining. Shawn and Bret first ever Iron Man match. A lot of people were 50-50 about that. I thought the match was pretty good. It was solid. Some people don't like it, some people do, but I'm still not putting this over WrestleMania 39. There's no way. Y'all are telling me 25 is better than 39, bro. Match it up with everything on 39 compared to this. Randy Orton and Triple H is one of the most disappointing, most depressing WrestleMania main events of all time, with one of the greatest builds ever. The build to that is one of the greatest storyline builds in WrestleMania history, and it flopped. The match should have had a stipulation based off the storyline and how personal it was. It should have had a stipulation to it, but it didn't. Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, of course, it's the greatest WrestleMania match of all time for many people. That was great. Triple threat with Edge, Cena, and Big Show. That was cool. Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy. Really liked that match. Extreme Rules match. Money in the Bank ladder match was solid as well. Jericho versus the Legends. That was pretty good. When Ricky Steamboat got in there and did the work, that was pretty good. But no, man. 25 over 39. No, bro. What are we doing? So y'all telling me WrestleMania 5 better than WrestleMania 39, bro? Okay. Hogan and Savage. Obviously, Hulk Hogan versus Randy Savage. That's one of the greatest storylines in WWE history. The Mega Powers, that's a legendary storyline right there. And the match is pretty good as well. I really enjoyed that match. But I mean, no, we're not. I cannot believe WrestleMania 39 is still. I just WrestleMania 6, bro. This is a one match show too. Really, Hulk Hogan versus Ultimate Warrior is one of the top 10 greatest WrestleMania main events of all time. The Ultimate Challenge is beautiful. That's a beautiful match right there. Mind you, these are two people also known as Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior who are known to be like very lackluster when it comes to in-ring competition as far as like their in-ring skills. You know what I mean? And they went out there and put on a great match, man. So, I mean, that match was great. The main event was great, but everything else on the show, it's not over 39. This is one of the most underrated WrestleManias of all time. Might be the most underrated WrestleMania ever, if you ask me. WrestleMania 22 is a really good WrestleMania that needs more love. The Money in the Bank ladder match that RVD won, really good. The main event, John Cena and Triple H, I think is one of the most underrated WrestleMania main events of all time. That's one of my favorite John Cena matches of all time. Triple H and John Cena, I thought they did really, really good in the main event. Trish Stratus and Mickie James, not only one of the best women's storylines they told in the Divas era, but also a really good match. Shawn Michaels and Vince McMahon was very entertaining. Rey Mysterio, Kurt Angle, and Randy Orton, that was a good triple threat match with Rey Mysterio winning the world title. Like, man, there's a lot of Edge and Mick Foley in the hardcore match as well. Like, WrestleMania 22 was like that, man. That needs more love and respect. John Cena and Shawn Michaels, one of the best WrestleMania main events ever. Undertaker and Batista, that was great. Match of the night to me. The Battle of the Billionaires with Umaga and Lashley, with Trump and McMahon. The Money in the Bank ladder match. You know what? I don't even think I'd put 23 over 22 now that I'm thinking about it. 22 had better matches. So WrestleMania 28. Telling me 28 is above WrestleMania 39. I get nostalgia hits. Listen, I watched this pay-per-view live in person. I saw it in real time. I watched it in real time. Cena and Rock, one of the best builds. I think it's a top 5 WrestleMania main event of all time. Undertaker Triple H, I think it's the greatest Hell in a Cell match of all time. Punk and Jericho, very underrated match that needs more love. But besides that, Sheamus and Bryan, that was squash match. You had Teddy Long's team versus John Laurinaitis' team, where Zack Ryder got his nuts kicked by Eve Torres, and that terrible storyline they were involved in with Kane and stuff. Oh my god, I genuinely just don't understand how 39 is not above this. I don't understand how 39 did not crack the top 10. I don't know if people just didn't watch the same show that I watched. We got WrestleMania 14. Undertaker and Kane is very, very good. Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold was solid as well, with Mike Tyson as referee. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, 14 should not be this high. What is going on? What is happening? Who voted on this? How was WrestleMania 40 in the... How was WrestleMania 40 not in the top 10? Stop! Stop! This is nasty! This is nasty. This is nasty now. We have to stop. We must stop now, bro. I have this WrestleMania on DVD. I've watched it many, many times, okay? Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, great main event. One of the top 5 greatest WrestleMania main events of all time. John Cena and Batista, really good build, really good match as well. But other than that, there's nothing else on this show that was really that good. Bret Hart and Vince McMahon was on this show. That is terrible. Chris Jericho and Edge was a disappointment. That match should have been a lot better. There's nothing else that really stands out on the show. Punk and Ray was decent. Sheamus and Triple H, decent. The opening match wasn't really that great. The Money in the Bank ladder match, that's the poorest Money in the Bank ladder match they've ever had at WrestleMania, with Jack Swagger winning. How is this at 11 and 39 is at 24? How is this even above WrestleMania 40? Let me chill out for a minute. Let me chill out for a minute. WrestleMania 31 is definitely a top 10 WrestleMania of all time. Honestly, it could even be higher than the 10th spot. This WrestleMania was great. I feel like this is the ultimate nostalgia WrestleMania right here, because of the Daniel Bryan movement and how popular it was, and that's credit to him, you know what I mean? But the opening match, Bryan versus Triple H, one of the best opening WrestleMania matches ever. You had, the main event as well with, YesLMania coming alive and Bryan beating Batista and Orton. That was great. But everything else, though, I mean, John Cena and Bray Wyatt was also really good, but there were a lot of people that felt Bray Wyatt should have won that match. Brock Lesnar versus Undertaker wasn't that great. Mind you, Brock also took the streak, which a lot of people hate still to this day. The Andre Battle Royal was cool. It was the first one ever, but that became meaningless, and the Divas match, the Shield had a squash match against the New Age Outlaws and Kane. They deserve better. WrestleMania 30 should not be above WrestleMania 31, 39, or 40. I'm sorry. I think they're doing this a lot just strictly off Impact. You know what I mean? Impact, I think, plays a lot into this right here. Absolutely not. This is one of the most overrated WrestleManias of all time, and I was standing down the hill. I've always said that. This is literally a one-match show. You take Rock and Hogan off this show, WrestleMania 18 is forgettable. Undertaker and Ric Flair was also a very good match, but nobody ever really talks about it to the standards of this match right here. Rock and Hogan carries this Mania. Everything else was either very subpar or very just forgettable, bro. How is this even in the top 10? WrestleMania 18 doesn't belong in the top 10 greatest WrestleManias of all time. I'm sorry. It's not over 31. It's not over 40, 39. No, I'm not putting WrestleMania 20 in the top. Yeah, I'm not. Maybe top 10. Maybe top 10. I was going to say, maybe, yeah, WrestleMania 20 could crack for top 10. but it's definitely not close to touching top 5 if you ask me. This is definitely a top 5 WrestleMania of all time. It could even be higher than this. WrestleMania 21 is my personal favorite WrestleMania ever. Just a beautiful show. A beautiful show. The opening match, Eddie versus Ray, one of the greatest opening matches in WrestleMania history. First ever Money in the Bank ladder match was great. Still, to me, I think the best Money in the Bank ladder match ever. That may be a hot take for some people, but I stand on that one. Undertaker and Randy Orton, Legend versus Legend Killer. Great story, great match. Kurt Angle and Shawn Michaels, one of the greatest WrestleMania matches of all time, hands down. And then, of course, John Cena and Batista both winning world titles on the same night to help propel them to be the next two biggest stars in the Ruthless Aggression era. This WrestleMania is just beautiful, man. It's a beautiful WrestleMania. WrestleMania 10 is cool, but I'm definitely not putting it in the top 5. Absolutely not. No. Bret Hart and Owen Hart is, for many people, the greatest opening match ever in WrestleMania. The ladder match with Shawn Michaels and Razor was great. And then Bret and Yoko was cool in the end for Bret to win the title. But top 5 over 21, over 39, over 40. No. Definitely WrestleMania 24 is one of the top 5 greatest WrestleManias of all time. This is like a perfect show, man, from open to finish. The Belfast Brawl, the opening match was very good. The Money in the Bank ladder match, one of the best Money in the Bank ladder matches ever. Batista and Umaga was pretty good. The Raw vs. SmackDown match, Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair, that was great. Arguably match of the night for many people. You had the triple threat with Orton, Cena, and Triple H. That was good. Floyd Mayweather had one of the best celebrity matches ever with Big Show, the main event, Undertaker and Edge. One of the most underrated WrestleMania main events ever. WrestleMania 34 is definitely top tier. I am tired of people overhyping this WrestleMania. WrestleMania 19 is a top 10 WrestleMania ever, but people overhype this Mania a little too much for me, bro. It's a very good WrestleMania, but it's not even the best WrestleMania of the Ruthless Aggression era. It's not the best WrestleMania of the Ruthless Aggression era. WrestleMania 21 is better than this. WrestleMania 39 is better than this. WrestleMania 40 was better than this. WrestleMania 31 was better than this. This does not belong in the top 5, top 3, let alone the second spot. WrestleMania 19 is not a bad show. It's a very good show. You had Rock and Austin, great match. Booker T and Triple H was disappointing. We get that. Booker T should have won. Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho, that was great. Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle was good. Even Vince McMahon versus Hulk Hogan, that was a very entertaining match, mind you. But there were other WrestleManias that have been better than this. We got to be honest here. Of course, I would expect many people to have this in the number 1 spot, which is very understandable. WrestleMania 17 is arguably, for many people, still the greatest WrestleMania of all time. Rock and Austin, for many people, may say the greatest WrestleMania main event of all time. TLC, you got Undertaker and Triple H, Shane and Vince in the street fight. Like, this is very Attitude Era-ish, bro. Like, everything about this show screams Attitude Era at its finest. If you didn't grow up in the Attitude Era, you want to know what it's like, you just go back and watch WrestleMania 17 and you'll just get the feels. I'm just so baffled over this list, man. I'm just so baffled over this list, man. If you want to see more wrestling content on the channel, you can click the video right here. If you want to check out the No Name Wrestling Podcast, click the playlist right here to check out all episodes, man. I don't know if I can handle another list like this. I'm not gonna lie to you.